So today I'm going to show you how to cut a chicken up. It's a very useful skill if you can learn it, and unfortunately no one ever shows you how to do that on television, and I don't think I've found any YouTube videos that you can go and see. There are several different ways you can cut a chicken up, but they all start by taking the leg off and then cutting those legs into drumsticks and thighs. Now the one method after that is to cut the breasts up but keeping them on the bone, which is if you're going to do a saute dish. And the other one is when you take the chicken breast completely off the bone, which is what I'm going to show you today. Because I don't think me showing you how to cut up a chicken for saute chicken is very useful unless you've got one of those, and you probably don't. Okay, so this is a 1.65 kilogram chicken. It's classified as a medium-sized chicken, so that's probably the size of chicken you'll be using. So first I'm going to remove the plastic tray, get that out of the way, and as I said, we're going to take the chicken legs off the bone. So you can see here it's just loose skin, there's no meat there. I'm just going to run my knife through. I haven't cut any meat, I've just cut through the skin, and there's a joint back here, and we're now just going to pop that leg joint out from the body. Now we're going to cut and keep my knife close to the bone and then just follow it around, keeping close to the bone, and it's that simple. So I've got one leg off. So we'll repeat the process. I'm trying to show you this so you can see the camera. So again, we're just gently scoring through the skin to separate the leg from the breast. I haven't cut any meat, and then again there's that joint there. I'm going to pop that out of place, and then I'm going to draw the knife down and I'm going to run it along there and keep my knife as close as I can there. So right, and that's two legs off the chicken. So now we have our chicken legs removed from the body of the chicken, and we're going to take the chicken breast and carcass and just move that out of the way for the moment over there so you can clearly see what you're doing. So you've got whole chicken legs here, and we're going to cut them into drumsticks and thighs. So you're looking for a mark around there, because if you hit the absolute right sweet spot, it cuts through as easy as that. I'll move that drumstick and thigh out the way. So if you cut through exactly in the right spot, it is that simple. It cuts through. There wasn't any crunching, there wasn't any sawing or hacking at it. If you hit it in the exact right spot, it cuts and separates the drumstick from the thighs. That simple. Now I could, if I wanted to, trim off and pull off these few feathers that are on the drumsticks. I could, if I wanted to, take a heavy knife and trim some of that off, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to bring the breast back onto the board, and we're going to talk about our options with the remainder of the chicken. Now these chicken breasts on a 1.65 kilo chicken are quite large. So if we were cutting this up for saute, I would cut this up into about 6 pieces. But I'm just going to show you the simplest way. There's a natural line that runs down the middle of the chicken, the breastbone. So we're just going to take a knife and we're just going to cut down, and there you've got the wishbone at this end. So we're just going to follow the wishbone and try to keep your knife as close as you can to the bone. Always, whether you're filleting fish or filleting meat, if there's bone involved, you're trying to keep your knife as close to the bone as possible to take as much of the meat off the bone as possible. So now we have one breast with the skin on and the wing tip on, taken off the bone. So now we're going to repeat that, and we need to make an incision the other side of this bone. Just gently cut through and then follow the line here. And again, I'm trying to keep it as close as I can. And we'll turn it around so you can see it from a different angle. Again, I'm trying to keep my knife as close as I can to that bone there. Now I could do this much faster, but I'm trying to do it slowly so it makes sense to you. Now there's a joint here where the wing joins the carcass of the chicken, and we're just cutting through around that joint. So now you have two complete chicken breasts and the chicken carcass. Now with the chicken carcass we could make chicken stock from that, but what I might do is I might throw away the excess skin, because the excess skin is going to make your stock, if you want to make stock, a little bit fatty. So I'm just going to remove some of that excess skin, and then I could cut that up with a heavy knife. I'm going to move the chicken breast out of the way for the moment, and I'm going to take a big heavy knife and we're just going to cut through here. And I'm simply doing this, not that you have to, but I'm making it into smaller pieces so that it's easier to go into a saucepan to make chicken stock. You didn't have to do that, but it just makes the pieces more manageable to put into a saucepan. And I'd use that, don't throw it away, use that to make some chicken stock with water, with chicken bouillon, with carrots and onions and bay leaves, and make yourself a delicious chicken stock. And then I freeze the chicken stuff up. Don't throw stuff away. This is perfectly great ingredients that you should get some value out of. When I buy a chicken whole, it is much more economical to buy a whole chicken than it is to buy a pack of chicken breasts. And this is what I choose to do when I have time to do it. So perhaps when I've cut my chicken up, I don't have time to make chicken stock today. So if that is the case, then I will wrap my chicken bones up and freeze them off. So I'll take a sandwich bag, I'll put a label on it, chicken bones, today's date, and then put the chicken bones into the sandwich bag. And then I'm going to put that inside another bag. So I'll twist that around a little bit, and then I will put that inside another bag. I double wrap when I'm freezing, whether it's meat or fish or bones, because that's going to prevent it from getting freezer burnt. So I'll get a tie, or I'll tie this off and I'll freeze that. And the other reason is I put the label in the inner bag, so that label is not going to get wet and fall off the bag. That's a really useful tip. We're going to talk a little bit about the chicken breast, the whole chicken breast. These are quite large breasts, and perhaps you can use the chicken wing for something else. If you had a lot of chickens that you were cutting up, you could make some buffalo wings, which is a deep fried chicken wing, and you can serve it with all kinds of spicy dips, which might be a great side dish to have when you've got a dinner party, a little bit of a starter, a hot aperitif. And you might even use that kind of dish in your barbecue. Or if I cut this off here on this second joint, you've got one joint there, two joints there, and before it goes into the breast, I could put this and add this to my bones to make chicken stock, which is what I'm going to do. Again, I'm just going to cut it exactly in the right place, so it cut through, as simple as that. Add that to my chicken bones that I'm going to freeze, and again we're going to do that again. You've got the one joint there, two joints here. We'll cut this through exactly now. Okay, so I missed the joint a little bit. You saw me struggle a little bit there, but I've got that 1-2 joints off. I'm going to put that in to my packet, and then we're going to wrap that up and put that in the freezer. But before we do that, I just wanted to talk a little bit about chicken breasts. When you buy a pack of chicken breasts in the store, these, because I've taken them off the chicken themselves, they have a fillet in them, this little fillet, which you can sometimes see in supermarkets. You'll see a pack of chicken fillets. It's just that little inner part of the breast, a chicken fillet. But sometimes when you buy boneless, skinless breasts, some of the breasts will have fillets and some of them won't have fillets. Why is that a problem? Well, it can be a problem if it makes one chicken breast smaller in size and one chicken breast sit higher in the frying pan, so it might make a different time that it takes to cook the chicken, which might make you think, okay, I'm checked the chicken, it's nice and clear, the juices are clear, the chicken's cooked, but maybe if you've got a bigger piece with the chicken fillet still on, that might take a little longer. What I'm saying is, if you buy a chicken breast already boned, already skinned in a pack, and one of them doesn't have the chicken fillet on, then probably take the chicken fillet off all of them so they're all sit in the pan and cook at the same time. Okay, now we're going to show you, I like to cook chicken breasts with the skin on, and the reason I like to do that is the skin is going to keep a lot of the flavour and the moisture inside the chicken. When you take the bone off the chicken, when you take the skin off the chicken, you're losing a lot of flavour. Now, for people that don't like chicken skin, you can easily take the chicken skin off after the cooking process before you put it on the plate, but it does help to protect the chicken during the cooking process. We're just going to turn the chicken breast this way, and I'm just going to slice it at about a 45-degree angle, just to cut that chicken into 2 equal parts. Again, I'm going to show you again. Into 2 equal parts at about a 45-degree angle. So I've got 4 pieces. Now I might want to serve just 2 pieces of breast for a portion, or I might want to serve a piece of breast and a drumstick or a thigh for a portion, just to make sure that everybody gets a piece of breast and a piece of leg. So those are lots of different combinations. When you're cooking chicken, if you're cooking chicken legs and chicken breasts, you want to put the chicken legs in to cook first, because the meat on the chicken leg is denser, because the chicken has walked around and the muscles are denser, so it will take longer to cook, whereas the breast is tenderer and it will take less time to cook. So keep that in mind if you're cutting up your chicken to use for a casserole.